What's going on, everyone? For today's video, I decided to make an aiming and gunfighting tips video for Black Ops 4, specifically for the Blackout mode. It's pretty cool. I've enjoyed my time playing the game. I've improved a lot over time. But specifically, this video is going to be for people that are having trouble with the game, or essentially even for advanced players. Maybe you're not, doing these things right now. So I'm just gonna get right into it. I do make PUBG videos and Halo videos, so as well. I'm also gonna be making a lot of Black Ops 4 videos now since the Blackout mode is out. So consider subscribing; it does help me out a lot. Let's get right into the video. So the first tip that I can give you guys is play a lot of solos. Now, why do I say that? You want to get comfortable with engagements. You want to get as many gunfights in as possible. Now, doing this tip alone is not the only thing I would recommend doing. There's a lot more other stuff that I'm going to be getting into, but the first tip, play a lot of solos, get used to engagements, get used to gunfights. The next one is landing in hot drops. Specifically, you could land in, some examples would include like Asylum, Estates, Nuketown. Those are considered hot drops. There's a lot of people that are going to go there, a lot more engagements. So it equals more experience for you guys. We got to get that experience up, right? You want to go ahead and analyze every single time you die. Now, why do I say that? This is going to come down to honesty, and this is going to come down to how humble you are as well. But you got to analyze every single time you die. Kind of figure out, was the player in this position? Did I do something wrong? Why did you die? Could I had done something better? You know what I mean? That's the question you should ask every single time you die. And that way you can avoid tripping over the same rock over and over again. It's just kind of like something that I've taught myself over time. So another tip, I have to get into this tip. I know a lot of videos out there have this. They talk about sensitivity, in other words. Now, it comes down to personal preference, but I know a lot of people are probably going to want to know what my sense is. My sensitivity is 5.5. I like that sense. It's something I've been getting used to since the Blackout beta. So I've been rocking 5.5. If you have a higher sense or a lower sense and you guys are not having any difficulty, just rock it out. Go for it. I mean, this is for people that are having trouble with their sense. So if you have it at a high sense, some pros and cons can include, a pro would probably be that you can kind of react faster. So if you get shot from the right, you could immediately look to the right, or you get shot from the left, immediately look to the left. But there's some cons to that too. Like, as far as long range and medium range, you're going to have trouble hitting shots, And this is specifically for people that are barely getting into that high sense, right? If you're already a veteran player playing high sensitivity, then you're probably having no problem with it. But if you're having a problem with it, I would recommend lowering down your sense, and it's probably going to help you out a lot. Another pro is that you're going to be able to keep up with the player close quarters. So if he strafes or whatever he does, if he crouches, you're going to be able to keep up with their movement. At a low sense, a con is exactly that you're not going to be able to keep up with their movement when you're at a close quarters. It's going to be very difficult. You're going to have to drag that stick to the right side of the, touching the controller, right or left, wherever they're strafing. But some pros are that you can go ahead, and the opposite of the high sense is that you can actually hit your shots at a long range and medium range, right? So you want to kind of have a balance between those two. So what I would recommend, and again, it comes down to personal preference, but what I recommend is rocking something between like a 5.5 or a 6.6 or a 7.7, like around there. If you go a little too higher than that, I feel like I start losing control. Personally, I start losing control. But if you're able to rock it out and you want to keep, grinding and getting better, it's not impossible to rock a high sense. Okay, so if you want to go for it, you go for it. It's completely feasible. But yeah, it comes down to personal preference. find your sensitivity, and it's going to come down to how much experience you have in the game. Another one that I want to talk about is reticle placement or crosshair placement. You want to kind of look where players are going to be at before they are there. Get me what I'm saying? So you want to predict their movement. So if you can predict their movement and there's a guy behind, like an example would be if there's a guy behind a rock and you think he's going to go to the right, you could already be aiming at that right side of the rock. You know what I mean? It's pretty simple stuff, but yet a lot of people forget to do it in certain situations, so they're aiming like all over the place. But it's really something just to keep in mind and kind of predict what the people are going to do. There was a situation in this gameplay where the guy was strafing to the right of the rock and then left of the rock, and I was able to predict. I was able to hit him every single time he was poking because I was predicting his movement. And it's going to come down to practice, right? You know, and experience. But you guys can do it, I believe. Another tip is strafing and crouching. So don't ever stand still. What I mean by that is in these battle royale modes, it's same rules apply. Just like PUBG, just like Fortnite. You don't want to stand still. You're gonna get sniped. I have had plenty of moments, not in Black Ops 4, but plenty of moments in PUBG where I've gotten sniped because I'm standing still for too long. So don't stand still. Minimize the time that you are standing still. As far as strafing and crouching, when you're in gunfights up close quarters, or medium range, or a long range, so this applies to all three, but as far as close quarters, it really throws off the player when you're shooting and then you all of a sudden you just press your crouch button and you go down. They miss some shots and you're able to hit them. It does. I'm not saying go all the way down. Like don't go all the way to prone, because if you go prone, you're just sitting there. You're gonna be having a hard time standing up. I'd just say crouch. So just press your button, your whatever crouch button is, to crouch, and that's gonna throw off the player. So what I like doing is kind of like crouching and then strafing to the right, and that throws them off so much that they miss a couple of shots, and I'm able to just get that kill. So really helpful. You could also crouch to the left or to the right, but it's something just to consider. As far as scopes goes, you're going to find a lot of scopes. There's going to be 2 times, 3 times. I think there's a 4th. Yeah, there's a 4 times. I'm not sure if there's anything. And then there's a sniper scope, which is I think considered a 6 times or an 8 times. I'm not sure exactly, but I know that you're going to have as much practice as possible with these scopes. Just get the scope that you're most comfortable with and kind of use that. And if you want to keep practicing with the other scopes, try to use them. You know, it's going to be a trial and error type situation, but you're going to be able to be accustomed to that. As far as an advantage, whenever someone is standing still, try to aim for the head. There's a lot of situations where I see where my friends don't aim for the head and they go for the body, and I tell them, you should have went for the head, because that I would have been able to tag them up a couple more times and they would have been dead. So aiming for the head is the best way. Even if they have the level 3 vest, like that has the actual helmet on, that's just shoot them in the head if they're standing still. There's a lot of situations where you can't aim for the head because it's just, you know, they're moving so quickly. That's fine. Aim for the body in those situations if you can, but if you can, try to aim for the head. Does the most amount of damage. You do need to lead your shots, okay? Same rules apply here, just like PUBG and Fortnite. Bullet drop, there is bullet drop in this. I know there's not been bullet drop in Call of Duty, but there's bullet drop in this one. So just keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. Another tip that I would give you guys is wait for people to get in the open. There's a lot of situations where you guys can get easy kills if you wait for the person to just kind of like go for that rock and then try to cross, like they're trying to cross a bridge where it's like right in the open, or they're trying to cross this plain field where they're like wide. You could pretty much shoot them and they're not going to be able to get to cover, you know, and if they stop to shoot, they're an easy target. So just try to wait for people to get in the open. It's really helpful. So again, this is a learning process. You got to put in the time, you got to put in the work in order to improve, right? You got to practice. It's going to come down. I know a lot of people don't want to hear that, but it's practice, man. It's gonna take some time to get used to your sense. It's gonna take some time to get used to the game mechanics, and then after that, you could kind of like apply that, and same rules apply. Take the hill, you know, cross the river early, all those simple things you've learned. I'm pretty sure you guys played Battle Royale mode before, right? PUBG and Fortnite. So all those rules apply here too, right? But yeah, it's gonna come down to practice and just analysis. Practice and analysis. You want to analyze every single time you die, and just be humble and be honest. You know, did I make a mistake? Oh, okay, I did. Okay, it won't happen again. You know, that way you don't make the same mistake over and over and over again. Some motivation for you guys. Just tell yourself, you know, every single time you die, analyze why you died, and then just tell yourself, don't quit. You know, I like to tell myself, I'm not gonna quit. I'm not gonna quit. I'm not gonna quit until I get a win. And I'm there for hours, but I'm not quitting, man. You know what I mean? Because that's just part of your mentality. If you have that mentality and you tell yourself, I have the experience to take out this player that's behind this rock. I have the hours put in. I've analyzed every single time. I can do this. You know, you gotta have confidence. You know, don't be cocky either, right? There's been a lot of situations where people are trying to do some crazy things. They're being cocky and it gets them killed. So there's a difference between confidence and being cocky, right? You want to have that confidence. So just tell yourself, you know, don't quit every single time you die, and you guys will be all right. So now what I want to do is kind of analyze the rest of this. That's all for my tips for now, but that was just in general. I had to write all of those down. I'm just going to analyze the rest of this gameplay for you guys, and yeah. Alright, so right here, Sharp, or my friend, was pushing. He got down, unfortunately, from this guy that was wearing level 3 armor, but he didn't tell me exactly that he was going to push, so I had to go run over there. And fortunately, though, I was able to get him, and I healed up my teammates. So we ended up winning this game. It was a real struggle because we were getting shot from like multiple angles, but the important thing was taking this hill, like I mentioned before, was making sure to be in high ground. So this guy was not in high ground, and we pretty much had him already. It was a 4v1 situation, and we were just kind of like messing with him, and they ended up killing him. So but that was my second victory. Pretty cool, pretty good stuff. But yeah, just as usual, try to get high ground. It's really helpful, and in almost every single situation. So right here, I spotted a couple people. I was trying to strafe, trying not to give them an angle. They missed completely all of their shots, but that was probably because I was just pinning them down with my shots there. But I just decided to push because that was all of their teammates down, and this guy was just hiding there, so I ended up taking him out. But yeah, it was as soon as you get like one person down or two people down, immediately try to push. Like, it's something that I've learned in other games. Just immediately try to push, because they're going to be trying to heal. They're going to be trying to heal their teammate, or they're going to be trying to heal themselves. Just communicate, you know, constantly be communicating. So, for example, like right here, for example, I told my teammate, okay, he's southwest 181 on this garage door. So that's the proper way of calling out people. You want to go ahead and start out with the compass directions, and then you go ahead and describe where they are. So like, for example, if they were behind a rock, you'd be like, oh, west 260 or whatever. I don't know exactly the directions. Or like right here, east 126 behind a tree. So right there, nearest tree. In this moment, particular moment, I was pretty much shot. He took down all of my armor. So I was just deciding, trying to push him at the same time, be aggressive, throwing a nade so they could kind of distract him. And it did work, and I was able to get my teammate up. So here, the guy threw a smoke, and I was looking around. He was trying to hide, and I was able to take him out as well as his teammate. And that puts me up to like 7 kills right there. But yeah, so right here I decided to push this because there was an airplane and it was pretty loud, so they couldn't hear. I did see some people coming in here, so I just decided to open the door and just light them up. This guy had level 3 stuff, and then I predicted that this guy was going to push from the left, so that's why I was aiming to the left, and that's exactly what he did. He fell right into the trap, and I was able to get 2 kills. So this was the my most satisfying victory because I think I ended up with 9 kills in total, and it was awesome, man. Because the ending, it ends in the water. Like, how have you ever seen an ending in the water? Like, not, at least not me. I haven't seen an ending in the water, but it was crazy because I was trying to look around. I was trying to, look for the person in the corners, but we ended up hearing him taking a breathing or whatever, um, in the water, and we were like, "Holy shit, he's trying to get a gasp of air." So we tried to jump out. So my friend Sharp, he jumps into the water. I'm like, "Okay, well here we go." And I'm looking, I don't see him, Takes out my friend, and then I'm able to take him out. And that was the victory. So yeah, if you enjoyed, please make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you haven't, and yeah, as usual, I'm gonna be making a lot of Black Ops 4 videos. So if you enjoyed this video, subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Peace.